So this is a battle I had with my friend Jonno. As you can see, we're both running main teams. He's a bit more offensive and mine's a little bit more defensive. So we're going to start off. He's going to lead with his Jirachi or Troll, and I'm going to lead with my Barely. So he's going to switch out into his Politoed as I go for the Spore, put something asleep. So he's going to switch back out and into his Jellicent as I go for the Sword Dance. Get that attack boost and then go for the Bullet Seed. So that's going to be, it's going to give me 3 hits and I'm going to get the KO, which is great. And next he's going to switch back into his Jirachi. I'm just going to go for the Max Punch. Going to hit with neutral damage. He's going to do just a little over half as he goes for the Thunder. No power hats, thank goodness. But with leftovers, and then going to hit him again with a Max Punch. And he's just going to survive. And he's going to hit me again with the Thunder. Still no power hats, which is great. I'm going to go for one last Max Punch, which is going to KO the Jirachi. So that's 2 down for me. I'm going to switch into his Keldeo, so I'm going to switch out into my Tentacle, which, unless this thing runs HP Electric, or a couple of other HPs, I'm going to be able to wall it, but nope, he's going to switch out into his Kevin Black as I go for the Scold, just to try and get some damage on something. I'm going to switch out, bring in my Ferrothorn, and he goes for the Fusion Bolt. His Ferrothorn can pretty much wall Karen Black. So as he switches in, as I predicted the Keldeo, I go for Elite Seed, but no. So and then I'm going to switch in my Bearloom as he goes for the Gyro Ball. I wasn't expecting either Elite Seed or some Entry Hazards, but no. So I bring in my Zapdos. I'm just going to sub up, take a couple of Gyro Balls. As this thing is not going to have many, it'll probably have 2 or 3. I think it's 3. So I'm going to sub up again as he goes for Gyro Ball again. Just HP pressure him out of these moves. So Gyro Ball can do a lot of damage. One more sub, and I don't actually think he's got any more. Nope. So he goes for a Power Whip, which isn't going to break my sub, which is great. So on the next move, I'm just going to roost up, get all my HP back, as he starts to lay some spikes, which tells me he's not running Stealth Rocks on this Ferrothorn. Probably had Stealth Rocks on his Jirachi. So I'm going to throw down some Thunders, just get some damage on this thing. I need to damage it because I've lost my Bearloom, which was pretty much what I'd like to have used to KO this thing. So a couple of Thunders. He's going to go for a Power Whip, break my sub. So I'm just going to sub up as he switches into his Karen Black. I'm just subbing up again. So just in case he switches out and brings something like this in, I know I can take a hit before having to switch out. So he goes for an Ice Beam, and as he's faster, that's telling me this thing's scarfed. So as my sub phase, I'm going to go for a HP Ice, get a bit of damage off there, switch out, bring in my Ferrothorn, because I know I can take HP Ice all day off this thing. Bit of spike damage as he switches out. I'm going to throw down my Stealth Rocks. So if he brings the thing back in, it's going to do some damage. So I'm going to switch out, bring in my Zapdos, as he goes for some spikes. I'm just going to sub up, because I know I can take a Power Whip off this thing, and if he switches out, I'm behind the sub, so I can take any hit off anything. And then of course he brings in this Karen Black, so I'm going to sub up. And then he's going to go for an Ice Beam. as I go for a HP ice again, bringing him down into the red, so he can't really switch out, or he's going to die if he switches in. So I'm just going to bring in the tentacle as he goes for an ice beam, and I'm going to spin away his entry hazards. Expect him to stay in, but nope, he switches out and brings in his Ferroform, which is carrying a rocky helmet, so does loads of damage. But I've removed those entry hazards. That's fine. I'm just going to chuck down some spikes, toxic spikes, to see what he was doing, and it goes for a leech seed. So expecting him not to do it. So he gets some health back. That's the only way he can get health. So I'm going to switch out, bring him a Zapdos, hoping he won't go for a leech seed again. I usually would expect him to switch, but nope, he goes for a spikes. So that's great. I can just sub up in this thing's face and just throw down some thunders until it's KO'd, and then pretty much take the rest of his team out. As long as I'm behind the sub, I'll be able to take any move from his Keldeo. I'll one KO his Politoed, and his Black Chrome can't switch in. So this is pretty much a good game. Just going to watch me finish it. Like I said, I'm going to throw down some thunders, just wear this thing down. He's going to power whip, break my sub. Oh no, he didn't break my sub this time. So I'm going to get another thunder down. I think he goes for a power whip this time, yeah, and that's he breaks my sub. So I'm going to sub up again. He goes for a power whip. Obviously can't break my sub with one power whip. So I'm going to throw down, I think, 2 more thunders and then I KO this thing. So there's 1. Oh no, that's it. I get a crit. So there's 1 thunder and it's KO. That's it. This is the rest of his team down. Brings out his Politoed, which is fast asleep. I'm going to throw down a thunder. And that's a KO. Next he's going to bring his Keldeo, which is obviously faster than my Zapdos. He's going to go for an Icy Wind, which is going to break my sub. But then I'm going to hit it with a Thunder, which is a KO. Good night, Keldeo. So he's in with 1 more Pokemon, which is his Karen Black. He's going to switch it in. He's going to take Stealth Rock damage and be KO'd. And that's it. Good game.